Okay, in this tutorial, I'm going to discuss with you how to revise for the end of topic weather assessment. And before we look at the different resources you should be looking to use to help yourself prepare for this, I would say that this is probably the hardest assessment that you're likely to sit as an end of topic assessment. And any notes that you do take in preparation for this, including answers you might write, I would hold on to them and keep them for revision purposes for your prelim exams as well as your final exams. Okay, first thing you're going to want to do is spend quite a bit of time looking at your weather student master note set, which I'm showing you on the screen. So if you open up your note set, you'll have all of your notes and information organized in the order of the assignments that you did them. And many of the key ideas and key learning exam questions are embedded within that master note set. So a good revision of that, as well as maybe building up some flashcards or some note areas, is going to be critical. But the first resource I would open up, and before you go anywhere, is your key resource of the revision checklist. Okay, and once you've opened up the revision checklist, there are two reasons to pay attention to this, and I'm just going to show you what they are. First thing is when you open it up, you will remember it's organized into 3 tabs. So if I just move these out of the way for a second, we can have a look at what they look like. Now it's just loading up at the moment, but it is organized into each of the 3 main units that make up the National 5 Geography course. And down here at the bottom, we can see physical environments, human environments, and global issues. Now the weather topic, which you're being assessed on, is the physical environments. So I would make sure that tab is highlighted, scroll down to the bottom, and you will find the weather topic is there. Now, each of these key learning outcomes could be an exam question. Okay, so it's worthwhile paying attention to that. You might choose to turn each of those into a flashcard and then build up notes around it. What you'll also find here is a lesson video which outlines each of the key exam areas. So if you cannot remember why there might be variations in temperature and rainfall across the UK, then there is a video here that you can watch. If you're not sure how to describe an area, how areas of low pressure and high pressure form, then there is a video here. So there are little videos created by myself that can help remind you. And these are especially quite useful the further down into this you get when you get to the hard stuff, okay, like synoptic weather charts. Right, use this checklist and make sure you can tick each of these different learning outcomes. Now, the next thing you're going to want to do is practice some questions. Now, what I would suggest you do is, as I go through the key documents you're going to want to look at, then note down what it is I recommend you do, and then maybe practice it yourself. Okay, now you will have been given this book here as one of the 2 books that you were given by your teacher. And it's from this question and papers book. Now, this one is higher geography, but yours for National 5 Geography will look almost identical. Find it wherever you've left it and use the following pages. First of all, if you turn to page 14, 15, 16, and 17, you will find a series of weather-based questions on those pages. So the first question you'll encounter is question 14 on page 15. And the last one is question 18 on page 17. So you've got 5 typical exam questions with lots of tips on how to do it. And I'd suggest at this point you pause, have a look at that resource and have a look at those 5 questions. Now, if you're going to go and try to practice those 5 questions, which I would thoroughly recommend, once you've written your answers, you can then look at page 40 and 41 to see the answers that you should be giving to those questions. So if you turn to those pages, you will see on page 40 and page 41 that there is a series of answers that you'd be looking to give, if indeed those were the questions that you've given. Okay, and actually on page 41, you'll see question 18. Right, if you have practiced them, you might like to practice the weather questions that appear in the 2 practice papers. So if you skip forward to page 55 of this book, you will find 2 exam questions on that page, and question 6 and question 7, and they are both typical National 5 weather questions. You could try answering them, And once you've done that, you could go to page 81 and have a look at the answers that you'd be expected to write if those were the questions. Finally, if you go to the practice paper 2 and turn to page 69, you will find another couple, in this case 3 practice questions. So question 5 on page 69 has got 2 parts worth 8 marks. And you'll also see that there is a question 4 on that same page worth 4 marks. You could practice answering those weather questions, in total worth 12 marks, and you will find answers to them on page 89 and 90. Right, you might also choose to use the How to Pass book. Now, the How to Pass book for the weather topic is okay. It's not as good as your master note sets, and I'll just switch back to the main screen. Your master note set for the weather topic contains far more accurate and detailed information. But if you're looking to use the How to Pass for a quick revision, then pages 1 to 5 of this book cover the weather topic, albeit slightly briefly. The last piece of advice I'd give you is the use of the National 5 revision site. So let's just have a little quick look at that. And just to remind you, if you want to find that, you'll find it at the top of your classwork section of the National 5 revision website. And when you visit it, click on the physical environments topic, select the weather topic, and there are a range of resources here. You'll see there is the revision checklist for the weather topic. So this is very similar to the spreadsheet you've got. You've got some practice questions that you can work on. These are past paper exam questions. You've got a video that I made for Chalk Talks, which is me going through some practice questions and answers and review some of the questions you can see here. This is a really useful resource if you're looking to revise actual exam questions. And then further down, you've got more videos which outline in a lot more detail different aspects of the course. So if you're really struggling with maybe low pressure or describing patterns on maps or any of the other aspects of this course, you'll find lots of tutorials. And they're mainly all focused around key exam questions. So it's worthwhile looking at some of them where I show you how to answer them. It's not that you will see those identical questions, but when you encounter similar questions, you'll know how to answer them. So good luck, and hopefully you'll give a lot of preparation towards this exam. And if you've got any questions, then make sure you speak to your teacher.